Federal budget cuts are creating significant challenges across the country. We're looking at how budget cuts are impacting local children.
Plus, warm weather makes the river seem inviting, but the water can be dangerous. NewsWatch 12 warning you how unpredictable conditions can be.
Live, local, late breaking. This is NewsWatch 12 this morning.
Good morning. The time is 6 a.m. on Thursday, April 17th. Welcome to NewsWatch 12 this morning. I'm Damien Alvarado.
And I'm Brinkley Hill, taking a live look at Grants Pass this morning. Let's check in with Storm Tracker 12 Chief Meteorologist Matt Hoffman to see what's in store for your Thursday morning.
Lots of sunshine expected for today, maybe around a Gulf. It looks beautiful this afternoon, climbing into the 70s in our west side valleys. It will be a little bit cooler today, though, in the basin, up to about 63 degrees in the Klamath Falls area. Winds will be rather blustery throughout much of southern Oregon and northern California. Some of the highest gusts up over 30 miles per hour will be towards the coast and then also into Lake County. So definitely some breezy conditions. That's going to make it feel a bit cooler than those high temperatures would suggest. But all in all, still above average temperatures and just some very nice spring weather. Unfortunately, that pollen is nasty out there. High pollen levels expected to continue in the Rogue Valley through the rest of the week and into this weekend. Not much rain in our extended forecast to help out with those pollen levels. Coming up in a bit, we'll take a closer look at what to expect for the holiday weekend and of course that all-important Easter Sunday forecast in just a bit.
USDA has cut $660 million in funding for the local Food for Schools program. This potentially impacting children's nutrition and local economies. Rogue Valley Farm to School works as a liaison between schools and local farms, and they say these cuts will affect local health and economy. The program says 17% of kids in the region are food insecure. They also worry for a cut to what could be their only fresh produce-rich meal in the day.
It also leaves a lot of kids without the opportunity to know where their food comes from and to become nutritionally literate at a young age, which really can affect their eating patterns and their long-term health for the rest of their lives.
Not only is funding being cut, but grants that make up more than 10% of the budget has been revoked. This has cut down on Rogue Valley Farm to School's ability to host more than 100 local field trips. The yearly visits help local schools grow community gardens. The community now fighting back against further cuts, using testimony to urge the state to retain their current budget that hasn't been cut.
California Governor Gavin Newsom has filed a lawsuit against the Trump administration, challenging the legality of tariffs imposed by President Trump under the International Emergency Economic Powers Act. The lawsuit claims the tariffs on Mexico, Canada, and China are unlawful and require congressional approval. Newsom argues the tariffs inflate costs, potentially causing billions in damage to California's economy, while Trump has justified the tariffs as measures to boost U.S. manufacturing and combat illicit fentanyl entry.
The uncertainty is pronounced and it is profound in the state of California. Consider just the imports coming from Mexico, Canada, and China. 44% of all of the imports into the state of California alone come from just those three countries.
The lawsuit is Newsom's first as a plaintiff this year and follows multiple California lawsuits against Trump policies. The state seeks an immediate order to block the tariffs, emphasizing the impacts on California's agricultural sector. We'll continue to track this lawsuit, but more details can be found on KDRV.com.
The Siskiyou County Sheriff is now urging California's legislature to revisit gray wolf policies. Jeremiah LaRue says the legal uncertainty for ranchers who protect their livelihood is just as scary as spotting a wolf. The sheriff says under current California law, anyone who acts to protect themselves or their livelihood from a wolf could still face legal consequences. Sheriff LaRue calling on the California legislature and the California Department of Fish and Wildlife to reassess the current framework surrounding gray wolves. This letter is a response to the more frequent sightings and depredations across California and Oregon. The sheriff's office hopes next steps will look to bring balance to wildlife conservation while protecting human life, property, and livelihood.
For the third year in a row, commercial salmon fishing will be closed throughout California. Officials with the California Department of Fish and Wildlife say it's due to dwindling numbers of fish from both drought and climate issues. But recreational ocean salmon fishing will be allowed for a brief window this season, marking the first recreational salmon fishing allowed in the state since 2022.
And with these beautiful days we've been seeing across southern Oregon and northern California, many are eyeing the Rogue River as the perfect escape.
But the Jackson County Sheriff's Office says the river's beauty can really be deceiving. NewsWatch 12's Samantha Cadera went out on the water to see how conditions can turn dangerous quickly.
The number one thing is really people kind of getting in over their heads, so to speak, getting in above their skill level, people not wearing life jackets when they need to, or maybe not even having enough life jackets on their boat. That's a real serious issue.
We started at the Tuvel boat ramp, and within just a short distance, I could already see major debris, shifting currents, and changing depth levels. Strohmeyer says this stretch of river is definitely not for beginners.
How fast is the river running right now?
Right now, I think is about 3,600 cubic feet per second. And it's going to get down, September, just for some gauge there, might be as low as 900 or so, 1,000, somewhere around there. So it's pretty high right now. There's a lot of water. It's very deceiving just how much water is moving right now. We have the environmental issues. I mean, we just had a winter where the river fluctuated a lot, came really high a few times. A lot of trees and other debris went into the water. And so one of our big functions early on in this season is going to be dealing with those river hazards, trees and things like that.
Those changes mean even familiar parts of the river can be risky. And deputies say it's important to know the conditions and plan ahead before heading out, and always make safety the priority.
Wear your life jackets, stay sober when you're boating, and be safe.
Reporting from the Rogue River, I'm Samantha Cadera.
Just in time for hiking season, the Rogue River Trail back in business. The Bureau of Land Management shared this video of how crews are clearing trails and preventing future landslides one boulder at a time. Areas of the trail have been blocked by hazardous conditions last month. BLM says you should still be careful if you use the trail.
And if you like fishing, 5,000 legal-sized rainbow trout have been delivered to Fish Lake. These trout come from the Coal River's hatchery. An Oregon fishing license is necessary to fish for trouts. It's also important to be familiar with the state's fishing regulations, which is advised before fishing.
Siskiyou County Public Works announcing a new snow plow, which is already working to remove snow from the Everett Memorial Highway. This new plow will also be assisting with Castle Lake Road, where the gate is now open. Siskiyou County says the new plow was a much needed addition as the county continues to clear snow on back roads from the heavy snow season.
Isaac Hodges has been appointed to fill a vacant Curry County Commissioner position. Hodges is the current mayor of Brookings and chief nursing officer for Curry Health Network. Commissioner Brad Alcorn is vacating the position on May 1st. Hodges plans to step down as mayor to focus on his new role in county-level governance.
In a statement, Hodges said, quote, "I want to continue to push forward with a solid foundation that everyone can stand on so people know they do have a job tomorrow." Hodges will fill the open seat with his term beginning on May 2nd.
Today, the city of Medford is hosting an open house on the latest progress of the Medford Downtown 2040 plan. They are looking for feedback from residents to identify what proposed areas should or should not be included in the 2040 plan. The open house will take place from 6 to 8 p.m. tonight and take place at the Medford Library in the Adam Room.
Oregon State Police reminding drivers to slow down on curbs, especially when fully loaded. Speed, weight, and road conditions can really be a dangerous mix. Take a look at this dash cam footage recently captured on I-5. This commercial vehicle losing control on the curve, tipping over, and now sliding across the freeway. This crash was on Sexton Summit, a well-known trouble spot because of its sharp curves, excessive speeds, and often wet road conditions. The curve has a recommended speed of 60 miles per hour.
Checking in with gas prices around the region. A gallon of gas has fallen by 0.4 cents in the last week, according to Gas Buddy. Josephine and Jackson County are seeing gas prices at $4.10 a gallon. Curry and Klamath County have the cheapest gas at around $3.90. Lake County is at $4. Siskiyou County residents are seeing $5. The Oregon state average currently sits at $3.94. The May 7th deadline